Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I am so excited you guys are here, and I am so excited I am talking to you guys. My name is Elizabeth. If you are new here, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment below, and also share the video, okay? And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for sticking around. In today's video, which is a very special video, we have a guest, our first guest on the channel. So she'll be coming in right now. She'll be coming in right now and she will introduce herself and then we'll get into the video. Okay.
Hi guys, my name is Rutachi and I am a student of Creating University, getting a master's degree in biomedical sciences.
Wow.
And I've been here for 2.5 years.
So you're in a private university. Did you mention the name of your school to
And
us? Okay. All right. So you're in a private university here in the US, right? And I've not heard anybody like getting a fully funded scholarship in a private university, not until I met you. So how were you able to get your school? How did you know about your school? Just tell me about it. Like how did you find your school?
first of all, when you're big, you're big. When you have it, you have it. But on a serious note, it was weird. So I always wanted to study either stem cell biology or medical sciences. I've always wanted to be a scientist. So when I was trying to apply for schools, I checked for schools, top schools in the US that offer biomedical sciences.
Mm-hmm.
And I went down the line. I didn't want all those Stanford, Harvard, Oxford. If you want it, go for it. But the
The school
the
fees.
application process, first of all, is so
Yeah,
tedious.
it's very
And then get through
competitive.
that. Yeah, it's very competitive. So I didn't
Mm-hmm.
really want to put myself through that stress mentally. So I went down the list and then I saw Creative University. Um, and I just applied for it. I applied for a couple of other schools to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But went through the whole process of application and then they gave like provisional admission. So your admission was based on if a supervisor or a professor was willing to take you up as your mentor.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to, after getting that admission, I had to go through the department list, check for the professors, check for their credentials, what they worked on, like what their research is based on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I selected a few that I was interested in. And then I sent emails to them. And I remember one of them was just like he had literally just left the school.
Mm-hmm.
Another one, she never responded.
Mm-hmm.
Up till now, she hasn't responded to
So
that
like
email.
you emailed the different lecturers
Yeah,
in the same
the same,
department.
like the same department here, but like working in different labs. So how my school is
So
structured.
before you applied, did you like know they give scholarship in that school, or you just applied and started emailing them?
Oh, so before I applied, I didn't know they gave scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was generally aware of the whole graduate assistantship thing. I didn't know that's what my school offered or
Mm-hmm.
how it was structured. But my first thought process was to apply first, get an admission first, and then begin to ask about possible funding options,
Mm.
which I did for all the schools I applied to. So, yeah. Then I emailed a couple of lecturers, a couple of professors rather, and one of them got back to me, and he's currently my supervisor, and so far so good.
Mm. Good. Congratulations. So you said you did not know before, you just applied,
Mhm.
and after applying you then emailed them. That was a risk, but God was on your side.
Yeah. So
Because normally people would want to like ask before applying just because they don't want to waste their application fee.
okay,
So
so
what did you pay application fee?
that's another angle. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
based on the application fee. So one thing, like when I advise people that want to come to the US to study, I tell them not to allow the tuition affect what school they choose.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of choosing the school first, understanding their requirements first,
Mm-hmm.
then understanding if those funding options are available. So while I wasn't exactly sure how it was structured, I knew there was something available. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I went ahead with the application rather. And then I remember when I was in talks with my current supervisor and everything. At some point they waived the application fee,
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't have to pay application
Oh,
for the
really?
application fee and all of that. But the whole process, okay, after he accepted to be my mentor, I had to go through two more interviews
Mm-hmm.
by him and then by some other, like the faculty, the graduate student committee, before they now accepted me. Now, at that point of acceptance is when they now say, "Oh, you have been accepted, you have been admitted, and you have 100% tuition remission, and then you'll be paid a stipend." But the process before you get there is kind of tedious. When you
Mm-hmm.
get there, you're kind of
Okay, nice. So for just the sake of people who would want to like do the same thing, what were the requirements?
okay. So if I remember correctly, yeah, I'm getting so that's past four, but um, the usual GRE,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was like in the thick of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So at some points they waived GRE. But I'm not sure if they reverted to the normal procedures. But at that time it was GRE, IELTS, um, three letters of recommendation, a statement of purpose. So like the basic requirements for like every school that you apply to. And that was it, like your resume and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. So it wasn't like any out of the box. But the interview process is where you have to kind of convince them
Yeah, I
that
was going to go to that if you had
yeah,
an interview. Okay.
yeah, I had like two interviews. So that's the point where you have to kind of convince them that this
Mm-hmm.
is the right fit for you, how you would learn from it, and how you'd be a valuable team member.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you tick all the boxes, then
Good. So, like the other schools you applied to,
you're.
like, did you also apply for funding opportunities?
Yeah. So
And
okay.
okay, go ahead.
Okay. So I applied to University of Southern California. I applied to Middle Tennessee. I applied to Texas A&M. And I feel like there's one more I can't remember. Those were the
Mm.
ones I applied to in the US. I got admitted into all of them. For University of Southern California, I had my reservations because it was a 1 year program and it was stem cell biology. But it
Mm-hmm.
was a 1 year program based on research.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't see in my head how all that research would fit into 1 year.
Yeah, yeah.
First of all, I didn't want to put myself under a lot of mental stress.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, the tuition, because the program used to be 2 years actually, so they like squashed it into 1 year
Mm-hmm.
and they left the tuition like that.
That means they might not even really cover everything that
Everything,
needs to
and
be
even if they
covered.
do, is like it's such a short period of time, so you're definitely going to be under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't have the tuition, so it's still the same amount that you'd have paid if you were having a 2 year program.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was trying to get funding and all of that, they gave me like 50% off. It was as good as just saying, okay, you're paying for 1 year, and I'm
See,
like,
you guys, that 50% of the other 50%, it is serious money. So if you are looking for funding, I'll just advise you get like a fully
yeah,
funded scholarship.
yeah, that's the best
So
option.
that's how you got your school
Mm-hmm.
and everything. So the next process was trying to get your I-20, then
Mm-hmm.
planning for your visa interview. How was your visa interview like?
Mm. Like I said, like it was in the thick of COVID. That was when COVID had just
Mm-hmm.
started. So I was even meant to resume by like August,
Mm-hmm.
but everywhere was locked down. I was so frustrated. I was trying to get a visa appointment date, but the consulates were locked.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a later date, like towards like I think October. So that would mean instead of starting in the fall semester, which started in August, I'd start in January for the spring semester. So January the next year. So the visa process was it was okay. I don't know. I kind of prepared, but I'm this kind of person that I don't really like to listen to a lot of outside people talking because
Mm.
I don't want it to mess with me. I don't want to get anxious. So I like to tone out the noise. So while I read transcripts of other people that had gone through the whole visa process, I also just basically prepared by myself
Mm-hmm.
and just let it be. And then it was such a struggle. And then that was in the middle of the whole unrest in
Yeah.
Nigeria also. So like COVID was happening and then the whole NSAS thing.
Mm.
So it was like coupled together and everywhere was just in chaos.
It was. I
So
heard the embassy was closed at the time,
yeah,
and like some they scheduled some people to do it on like online, not in person as in
yes,
normal.
no,
But yours
no.
was in
It was
person.
in person. So how it happened, I was trying to just get a date. So we got a date in Abuja, and that date was the same day they kind of closed down
The
because of the
embassy.
unrest. Not just COVID, but because of the unrest in Nigeria, they closed down Abuja. So we had to like pivot and try to get a date in Lagos, which we eventually did. I had already bought my ticket to Abuja and everything.
But you
I
were
couldn't go
staying in Lagos. Why did you choose Abuja?
because we were just looking for the consulate, whatever consulate will give us a date. At that point, we didn't even care what the location was. Just let me get a date, right, and get my visa. So ideally, would have wanted to go through Lagos, but we're
Yeah,
just like
I was
any other
thinking
option.
maybe you went to Abuja because like people used to say the interviewers in Abuja they are kind of lenient compared to Lagos, but I don't think so because I
So
was
and
denied in Abuja and I was approved in Lagos.
so
So nothing
yeah,
like lenient. What you need to do is just prepare well
prepare,
for it, to
yeah.
be honest. And you can get very nervous during that time of
Hmm.
your visa, but if you prepare very well, kind of boost your confidence and you'll be good, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
So
a lot of people used to say that whole Abuja, Lagos. Yeah,
So how was your interview like? The questions, what questions did they ask you? How did you answer them? Just share light on it.
okay. Hmm. Well, like I said, I keep on saying it has been a while.
Yeah, you are
My
young.
point is that it has been a while, so some of the details I have missed it, but they have like left my mind. But I remember I was on the line and like you'd hear, "Oh, I'm sorry, right now we can't approve your visa." And everything. Are you on the line to meet these
Sorry,
people?
when you're on the line, see, don't care to listen to what others
Ha!
are saying. Just try to like contain what you have already with you, because listening to others can kind of confuse you and it can get you scared because they will deny some people, they will approve
Yeah.
some people. So just try and keep to yourself at
Yeah.
that point.
It
Continue.
can be very demoralizing if you sit down and say, "Oh, they've denied this. I thought this person was answering properly and they denied the person." And I remember I was with friends from school and we were like in the same line for the visa. And my classmate actually in uni in undergrad was before me, and they denied her, and I was like, "What?" like
And you finish.
I'm
This
like,
person is so
"What?"
smart. Why did they deny?
But at the same time, I was on the line. I was kabashing, so praying in tongues and everything, because I wanted to steal my spirit and my mind, and I'm like, it's not going to be the same story. Even if they deny everybody, me, they will not deny
My
me.
story is
It has to
different.
be different. So I got to the front of the guy. The guy was chilled. You know how peak of COVID they were wearing masks. This guy carried bandana on his mouth. Not even send anybody's father. And I can't really remember some of the questions he asked, but I remember he asked about like my dad, whether I have traveled before, like what my dad does, whether my dad has traveled before. Um, he said, "Oh, I see that you're going to Creighton University, so you're going to study biomedical sciences. What's your research on?" And to be honest, out of all the questions I prepared for, I did not prepare for them to ask me what's my research on, because ideally I haven't even started, right? I am going there to decide what I'm going to research on. But he just wanted to see whether I had an idea of what I was actually going to do.
Yeah.
So by God's grace, I was involved, kind of involved on Zoom with the lab already before I joined. So I had an idea. So I told him some of the things, and he's like, "Oh, I talked about a protein," and he's like, "Oh, does this protein go down, or like with cancer, does it go? Is it increase or decrease?" And I'm like, "Why are you asking me about this protein?" But I was like, "It decreases," and he was like, "Okay." Then he just asked a couple of very inconsequential questions that were not. At that point, I was just relaxed. He was like, "Oh, we're gisting," and everything. He was laughing. Then he's like, "Oh, congrats, you're going to be approved."
And that was just it.
So another thing is that one thing, like a sure way, not a sure way, but when you know like half of your body is in, is when you have an assistantship.
Honestly, I think it don't used to be like that before, but like 2 years back, 3 years back, that assistantship like became
Became a thing.
something. It gives you like 50% chance in.
You know already.
Yeah.
So like if you have a scholarship, not just assistantships,
Yeah,
but
a
if you have a
scholarship,
scholarship
school
of some fund,
funding and all those
yeah, like
things.
they are convinced that, oh, this organization or this school is already invested in you. So they are confident that, oh, they have screened you and know like you fit whatever it is, yeah, like you're going to do whatever it is you said you're going to do in the US. So they are relaxed. to an extent. They
Mm-hmm.
will still ask you questions to confirm and all of that. So it's not like I said, half. It's not like you're fully in, but you're halfway through. Um, but yeah, it just really helps. So if it's possible to get, like, it can be difficult. The whole process can be difficult and frustrating. At some point, you want to give up. But if it's possible to get assistantships or scholarships, even if it's not full scholarship, like in
At
terms of,
least let there be little
yeah,
funding, yeah.
in terms of just like getting your visa.
Mm-hmm.
But when you come here, you can now talk to professors or whatever and get like a bigger percentage of your tuition and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But just for the visa process, it kind of helps when you have some external funding.
So after your whole visa process, blah blah blah, you got your visa
Mm-hmm.
and it was your time to come to US. You were so excited. I
Mm-hmm.
know everybody was excited to come to the US. So how was like your experience, like your first week in the US? How was it?
So my first week in the U, like I said, I'm old, so I have to
Guy, you are
rewind.
not old.
I have to rewind a bit because it has been a while actually, so I can't really remember some of the details.
Yeah.
But first week in the US. Okay, first of all, I used one particular airline, and for like 2 weeks, I didn't get one of my boxes, and that was the box that I had like some of my clothing because I didn't get it. I didn't carry a lot of clothing because it's not wise to do that.
Yeah.
So I was with the box that had my food stuff. I was with my hand luggage, but I didn't have the box with my clothing. So it was kind of annoying. I was back and forth with the airline just to
Mm-hmm.
get it. But I have family in New York. So
Mm-hmm.
when I first came in, I spent like 2 weeks in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of okay because it was not like I was just coming to a place I didn't know anybody and I was just starting life alone and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. So I actually came into the New York and because I came in like December 20. I left Nigeria December 20th. I landed December 21st. I spent the remaining time till New Year in New York. And then I went to Missouri. I have another family in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Missouri is like 3 hours away. So my family there brought me here and kind of went shopping for groceries and everything.
Mm.
Helped me set up my bed frame, although I didn't have a bed at that point, so I slept on the
See,
floor.
when you come newly, America is going to humble you. You say, I left my father's house to come here.
Ah,
So when you come newly, to just get ready
to
to
shock
start
you.
again, okay? Just don't come and kill yourself. It's a gradual process.
You see that you be like, now me be this. You be thinking about your life.
I'm telling you, that's what
But
people don't. No, people
yeah.
feel like when you get your visa, you're coming to half of your life
Mm,
problem is you're just
it's
starting.
starting
Your
again.
problem has not yet been
Like
solved.
anytime you japa, like while we all know all have our own reasons why we
Mm-hmm.
leave our various countries, you're starting your life again.
Yeah, you
You're
are.
starting socializing again. You have to make new friends again. You have to start school or start a new job
Mm-hmm.
again. Like it's a new environment. You have to get your apartment. You have to get furnished. You have to get. It's a lot of things. You're changing your number, so it's like it's not smooth sailing. It's not at
As
all.
in,
It takes a while.
and then back then in Nigeria, the time difference, trying to communicate
Yeah,
with family,
yeah,
friends, and all
a
of
lot
that,
of
it can be
things.
quite overwhelming,
Yeah.
honestly.
And another thing that a lot of people don't say is how much connections or how many connections you kind of lose after some time. You
True.
try initially you try and you're like, oh, I'll call this person today or at least once a week we'll talk. More.
When you see this America, you will walk in. When you start walking like that, you will forget.
Like
You will forget that
sometimes,
you need to call. Like sometimes it's not intentional, but
yeah,
because of how overwhelming it is for the person at the time, that's why.
yeah. Sometimes you
So
just come back home like after work,
and you
and
just
you be like,
want
oh,
to
I need to
be,
talk to this person, but at the same time, I just need a space for
yeah.
myself. I need to relax because there's barely time before you know it. You're out again doing
Mm-hmm.
working
And
again.
nobody
So
will pay your bills, so you have to
you have
work
to work. You
to,
have to hustle.
yeah.
So that's one thing I feel like a lot of people don't understand
Mm-hmm.
because it's like I'm not ghosting you, or you know how people think, oh, because you have traveled now you've forgotten about me.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the case. I just don't even have. I don't even have time for
For myself,
myself. I don't even
like
have time for myself.
like we've known each other for some months, and this is
Yeah,
my first time of being in your
yeah. This first time
apartment.
we've been
That's
here.
how it is. So
So it's just like that, like schedules and everything. You have to just take control of your life,
mm-hmm.
literally. And yeah, so a lot of times, some things you'd love to do, or some things you'd normally do, you're
Mm-hmm.
used to. You just have to drop those habits or drop those
And then
connections.
you said something when I asked you about your experience moving here and all. You said you had to go to family first and all
Mm-hmm.
of that. That means you came on time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you
Yeah.
arriving late is an issue,
Mm-hmm.
so you need to come on time so that you can prepare, be settled,
Yeah.
and like start your
Yeah.
classes and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because coming late would it's so
It's
overwhelming. There's a lot to do. You are
I
coming to
won't
a
advise
new
anybody to do
country,
that.
so you want to do so many things. So coming earlier, if you have the time, you come like 2 weeks before, a week before, so that you can settle well.
Yeah. So like if I remember correctly, when you get your visa, you can come to the country within 30 days of your school
Yeah,
start date.
sure.
So as early as possible. Now it's different for people that had to like either go for a second visa
Yeah,
interview
it's
and
actually
then.
kind of difficult now in Nigeria because getting visa date is like kind of
Mm-hmm.
hard.
Yeah.
So people tend to come like 2 weeks before or
One
1 week
week
before.
before.
Nobody really have the 30 days.
Yeah.
It's very rare now to
Yeah.
have the 30 days.
But I
But
mean that's valid. If it's beyond your control, then it's beyond your control. But don't
mm,
get your visa in
yeah,
October
if you
and then
have it,
come
come
as early as
early.
possible
You
and
need
get
to
settled.
settle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like imagine like coming to a new country. You have spent Christmas all your life with your family. And then you're coming to a new country, but because it's such a short period, you can't even spend it with family. So you're
Mhm.
going straight and you're going to live alone and you're going to try to shop and everything. It's
Mhm.
going to be overwhelming. And even if you don't have family, just to get some time
To
to.
connect, you connect with people within
Yeah.
that short time, and you
Yeah.
have people to, because this place can actually get very
Very
lonely at
lonely.
times. So
Just have some time to settle down, get what
mhm.
you need to get. Like for instance, I came in December, I landed December 21st, and
Mhm.
school started January 18th. So I had a couple of weeks
Of
before
course.
school started. So I was like, although I was still running up and down then, but
Yeah.
I didn't have to run up and down for a bed or a bed frame or whatever.
Mhm.
Like I had already ordered those, so they were coming. So I knew like, oh, whatever I'm doing now or whatever I'm trying to settle now is school related, not house or grocery related, because I already had those under control. So it's advisable to just come early and try to network. For someone, I don't know, Elizabeth might disagree, but I hate socializing. Like I have social anxiety.
I don't
And they
believe
don't
this.
believe, like whenever I say it, they don't believe. But it's so difficult for me to make friends because in my head, before I approach you, I'm already thinking of 100 different conversations and how to turn out, and it just stresses me out. So I like to stay on my own. So for people that have difficulty socializing like that, don't worry about it. Whoever gravitates to you will gravitate to you
Yeah,
at the end
I
of the
mean,
day.
you don't force connections with
Yeah,
people. Like
yeah,
if it's meant to happen, it will. Like you
hmm
guys will just find like a common goal, interest, and then the connection will happen
yeah.
automatically. So that's it. And
But
when you are making connections, yeah, connect with people.
that sense.
You want to you
Connect
want
with
to
them.
connect with people that have sense. You don't just want to connect with
Oh my
because you
god.
need to connect, then you now connect with everybody,
Anybody.
any kind of
Mm-mm.
person. Connect with people that you can benefit from, they can
Yeah,
benefit
benefit
from,
from
you
you.
can learn and you can grow
Yeah.
together. You don't want
Connect with
to,
like
yeah,
minds.
like minds,
Yeah,
exactly.
like that they go to the same school with you or that they are in the
It
same country. It
doesn't
doesn't
mean,
mean
yeah,
anything.
like we don't go to the same school. How did
Yeah.
we even meet? Okay,
Can't even-
at the cinema.
oh yeah, 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 that was the first time we met. So it's stuff like that that you just vibe with the person. But this is not to say that if you need help with something or if you have questions, please ask questions. Oh.
Mm-hmm. A
No
lot.
form I cannot socialize because
You have
you will
to,
just miss
like,
your way.
normally I'm a very reserved person, but I just had to
Eh.
like come. Yes, now what do you
Mm.
mean?
Eh?
I'm a very, everybody knows I'm a very
Okay.
reserved person,
Agree
but
to
like I
disagree.
just had to like come out of that and try to meet people, one or two. Why are you looking at me like this?
Oh my
All right,
god.
so it was really nice having you on my channel.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. It was great talking to us. We appreciate you. We
What
appreciate
did we?
you. All right.